if you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, we're going to wait for people to join. So just give us a minute. It takes a minute for it all kick in. Good morning. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Just saying. That's my good morning. Let me put my watch on. We got 1 minute. So we're going to let people join. Yeah, I remembered to monetize my video today. I'm getting better. I'm getting much better. Oh, I love Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I would love to live there. Right in the middle of the forest. That would be awesome. Good morning, Heidi and Mary, Cheryl, Cynthia, Tisme, Debbie, Sherry, Roseanne. New York. I'm dancing in New York this morning, Roseanne. Thank you. You're helping me live my dream. Good morning, Missy. Good morning, Becky. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Kayla. Good morning, Chris, Christy. 2 commercials. Good morning to Heidi. I don't know if I've told y'all hi. Good morning. Well, you're telling Kayla. Maybe I already said it. Good morning, Jane. Cassie. Keelan. Keelan. Oh, it's afternoon for you because you're in the UK. Good morning, Ginger. Stephanie. I do not like. Wait, let me wipe my screen off. I do not like that it has that right there. And it has that right there. Isn't this cute? Pink and cow. I had to buy a new preaching stick. I felt like we needed it. I feel like that this would bring us cheer. Like it's a cheery preaching stick is the way I feel. I feel like this is going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? This is my 4th preaching stick that I have invested in. People ask me what I use. It is called Beach Waver. That is what I use. It has this little bitty thing. And then it has, but I feel like it just is the best preaching stick that I've ever used. I enjoy it. It's less work. Just saying. Okay. I have notes today. I know that's weird. It's weird, but I wrote down some things that I really need to talk about. Okay. Before I go live every day, I'm going to say this disclaimer because I feel like I'm misunderstood a lot. Okay. When I go live in the morning. Okay. If I keep saying okay, I'm sorry. I'm taking my glasses off. No, I'm going to leave my glasses on. Sorry. Okay. The disclaimer is, first of all, look at this bruise. Listen to Kayla. The disclaimer is, if you ever click on my live I feel like I am the type of creator that goes live that you can't pop in and out to see. Like if you're just, I got to take it off for a minute. If you're scrolling through Facebook or YouTube and your Aunt Judy pops up and you just click on and I'm already 15 minutes into it, you're going to miss everything. You're not going to understand the plot. You're not going to understand where I'm going with this because oh, yay, Christopher's on here. I'm sorry. um, if you're scrolling and you come in 10 or 15 minutes into the program or the show or whatever you want to say, you might hear me say something like, Larry is making me so mad. You might hear that. But what you missed is the couple of minutes before I say Larry makes me so mad. And what the minute was before was I've got on the struggle bus and then I've went to outer space. And in outer space, Larry makes me so mad. And then I have to break it down to figure out why Larry is making me so mad. Does that mean that Larry is making me mad and I'm a piece of crap daughter? No, you haven't heard the whole story. You came in too late. You see what I'm saying? So if you would have heard that Larry's making me mad when I'm in outer space, which means I'm in emotional mind and I'm not in reality. Larry's making me mad or Shane's making me mad. I'm in a place that's not on Earth. I am in this make believe life of mine in Mars, and I'm not in a normal mind frame. I'm in emotional mind. So I am the creator. This live is about front to end. It is not about halfway into it, a third into it, a fourth into it, whatever. I am a front to back. This live, every one of my morning lives. Now, if I'm out in the farm, you could pop in when I'm loving on my animals. That is normal. But I am not the creator in the mornings at 7 a.m. that you can just pop into. If you're a subscriber and you pop in, you sleep in late, let's just say, and you're like, oh gosh, I missed it. It's 7:15. Okay. And you pop in. I don't think that's a good idea. I think you need to go ahead and sleep in and catch the replay because you're going to misinterpret my whole entire life. You're not going to understand what I'm saying, and it's going to be straight up confusing. And you're going to begin to judge me when I say Shane is on my nerves so bad it's not even funny, because you're going to miss that I'm in outer space when I've got those thoughts in my head. Do you understand me? So if you catch me in the middle of it and you want to watch, that's fine. But you're going to miss the whole entire plot. And you're going to begin to judge me. Oh my gosh, she talks so bad about her husband. Or, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that she is sitting here saying this. Or she is so judgmental. She talks about not being judgmental and she's so judgmental. The reason you're thinking that is because you have missed the whole beginning. So I am not that creator that you can pop into at 7 a.m. I'm from the beginning to end. And sometimes you may have to break down what I'm trying to say because I might trigger you by things I say. But when you might be that person that goes, what did she say? And you may have to go rewind it to the beginning to hear the whole thing, because you might hear something different than what I'm saying. So this happens a lot. This happens a lot, especially with my family, because, like, for example, I'm just going to say it, but like my ex-husband was somehow I popped up on his live and he came in the middle of my live. And then what did he do? He got on the phone and called my son and was like, "Do you know what your mom is saying about you?" He missed the whole thing because he didn't listen. And another thing that I need to say is this live at 7 a.m. needs full attention. This is not the type of live that you can multitask, because you're going to miss very important things that I say on, or I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're driving to work, you could not be distracted per se, but if you got stuck in traffic and you're watching the traffic in front of you, you're missing the important words and the important things that I'm saying. So I feel like I would rather have 2 people on my live and have their full attention than having 141 people here that are distracted, that are missing the whole topic. Do I make sense? And I feel like that I need to say this in the beginning of every live because I'm so misunderstood so many times. And I'll tell you what happens is when I get misunderstood, then it's usually by my family. They misunderstand me. And so what ends up happening is I kind of frustrate people because they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. And it makes me want to quit going live. And it makes me quit wanting to do social media because the last thing I want to do is upset people that love me. You see what I'm saying? So I would never want to hurt my children ever, or I would never want to hurt Larry. I would never want to hurt him. But sometimes, in order for me to tell you if I tried to break things down without telling you the story, you're going to be very confused. So I open up about my life. Does that mean my feelings about Larry, let's just say, or my children, or my husband, or whatever, does that mean that I'm right? No. Listen, I go to outer space every single day. And I have to break things down every single day. And half the time when I break it down, I have to go back and apologize because I'm a trigger. And it does, when I tell you the story and I tell you what happens and I tell you I'm in the beginning stages of this live and I tell you my feelings. And if you listen to that and then get off my live, you're like, I cannot believe that she is literally sitting here saying that. But see, when you're not distracted and you listen from the beginning to the end, it's all going to make sense. And you're not going to say that about me because you're going to go, "Oh, I get it. I get it." And sometimes you may have to go back to the beginning and watch it again to be able to get the concept of how I'm trying to dance. I wake up on the struggle bus every day. I told you that. I do. And I have to figure out how not to go to Mars and to get off the struggle bus and go to the double Dutch bus, right? I tell you that all the time. It doesn't mean that your Aunt Judy has got this mastered, because I don't. It is a work in progress every single day. I learn something every day. But I need you to understand that I am not, when I am live at 7 a.m., I am not the creator that you can pop in and out. because you're going to judge me. And you're going to think she is a total train wreck. You have to hear from the beginning to end. And if you catch me in the middle of it, you're going to be really confused and you're going to judge me. And you're going to think that I'm talking bad about people. But what I'm trying to teach you is that my thought process is wrong. My thought process is all wrong. Okay, now that I've said that, I forgot what I was saying next. Hang on. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. With that being said, hang on, my farrier's. She was supposed to come yesterday, and she didn't get to come. So she's coming to do my goat's feet this morning. So she's texting me to confirm that. My feet, that they need their toes done. They need pedicures. Okay. When I talk on my live, is it my responsibility on how you perceive my live? No. All I can do is present the subject, and what you do with it and how you relate to it is your responsibility. But I try really hard to present it in the best way. Isn't that? Look at how cute this little thing is. It reminds me of a little Skipper. Doesn't it remind you of a little Skipper? It's up to you to interpret it the way you have. Like, you may not be able to relate to me in what I'm saying. Like, maybe, like when I'm talking about, let's just say, Shane or whatever, your husband may have passed away or your wife may have passed away, and it's hard for you to relate to me. Or maybe you don't have children. If I'm talking about children, you're like, it's hard for me to relate to her because I don't have children. But if you sit and think about how you can apply what I'm saying to your life, it may be a niece or a nephew if you don't have children. It may be your spouse. You have to be able to associate what I'm saying with your life. I feel like I'm getting distracted. Another thing that's happening is my pages, my channel on YouTube and Facebook is growing like wildfire. I mean, and this poor lady yesterday, she was like, I'm confused. I thought Larry was your husband. Who is Shane? And I'm like, oh, God love her. So I feel like sometimes that I have got to go back to the basics. So I'm going to go back to the basics right now, because if you are new to following me, you're probably real confused and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And it's important for me for you to feel connected. Okay, so why do I have 4 curling irons? It's crazy, I know. One day I was going live and I talk about mental health at 7 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I will spotlight on the farm things, but majority of the time I talk about mental health. And the reason I talk about mental health is because I get on the struggle bus every day. And it helps me to talk about real life situations. And I started doing it, and people started telling me that I was helping them because they could relate to me. And so I just kind of stuck with it. And sometimes when I talk about mental health and breaking things down, I talk about the only person that you can control is yourself. And a lot of times when let's just talk about marriage, we try to fix our marriage, or we try to fix our children, and it's not working. Like, you're beating yourself. You're just literally, when you try to fix your husband or your marriage or your children, it's like taking your head to a brick wall and going like this. Because no matter, you're like, I'm going to counseling, I'm trying to do this, and my marriage is still a train wreck. And you're literally taking your forehead and beating it on a brick. That's what you're doing when you're like, I've got to save my marriage. Oh my gosh, I've got to save my marriage. My kids, oh my gosh, I've got to put band-aids on it because they are a train wreck. And me as a mother, I got to preach to them and teach them right from wrong. And they're teenagers and they're going out and they're making wrong decisions. And you're taking your forehead to a sided brick wall, and you're going like this, you're going like this, and you're just you have blood all over your forehead because you're trying to fix your children, you're trying to fix your marriage, you're trying to fix your husband, you're trying to fix the people at your job, and it is a train wreck. So when I get live in the mornings, I talk about, if you're trying to fix your marriage, you're in trouble. You're in the brick room and you're pounding your head against the wall. So I bring out my curling iron because I'm usually doing my hair and I'm starting to go like this. And at first I didn't catch myself doing it. And then I'm like, Lord, what is this? And so I just started naming this my preaching stick, because when I go to talking, I go to preaching. And I'm like, dude, you can't fix your wife. Your wife is a train wreck. You can't fix her. You can't fix your marriage. You've got to fix you. So I started going like this. So I have 4 preaching sticks now, and I plan to add to it, to be honest with you. I know it's ridiculous that I have 4 curling irons right now that are all just alike, but they're not just alike, because this one's cow. I have a red one. I have a pink one, and I have this summer looking one. So that's why I call my curling iron my preaching stick, is simply because here at 7 a.m. I go to preaching. Okay. The goal for my 7 a.m. live is not to give you all the answers. Listen, honey child, if I had all the answers, we'd be good, right? I don't. But I feel like together, us being here at 7 a.m., first of all, it reduces the risk of a copay or an admission fee to the hospital. Or, like it's a stress, like, a massage. We don't have to go get a massage to reduce our stress, because we come here together at 7 a.m. to talk about how to dance. The reason I say dance is because I love to dance. I dreamt of living in the middle of New York and dancing on Broadway. That was like, I just wanted to do that. I could express myself through dance. I've danced from the time I was 4 or 5 years old. My mom I took tap, ballet, jazz, clogging, tap, like everything. I was always into dance, square dancing. Mom had me in square dancing. So I love to dance. And so when I dreamt of always living in the middle of New York and dancing on Broadway, I physically thought that I would be in New York dancing on Broadway. And it was very emotional when I started social media and it started growing, because I can look up my stats, and I can see the age group that follows me, where people follow me from, what country they follow me from. And it's really emotional when the top city that follows me is New York City. And I'm like, it was almost like God put on my heart, Judy, you are living your dreams. You're teaching people to dance in New York City. And I'm like, and so once I realized that, it was very emotional to me, because what I teach in the mornings on live is I teach people you could sit it out, and sitting it out is not fixing you, not making a difference, and sitting on the couch wallowing in your sorrows. That is sitting it out. But what we learn here at 7 o'clock in the morning is you have choices. You can sit it out or you can dance. Dancing is fixing you. Not trying to fix your marriage is sitting it out. Fixing you is dancing. Trying to figure out your purpose in life is dancing. Having a smile on your face instead of tears and a sadness is dancing. Those are the things that we learn here on my live. So that's why I call my followers my backup dancers. May seem silly, but it's kind of what we all came up with, because I strive really hard to tell you the bull crap I go through in my life and have been in my life to teach you how I got to where I am today. Because the past 2 weeks, I have not had field trips. I've been slow. That's how it is. Sometimes you have like bam, 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 bam people coming, and then sometimes it is dead still, especially during the winter. And if you notice, you'll see my demeanor change. When I'm not active, I am Debbie Downer. I am Debbie. I am distracted. I'm in Larry's business. I'm in Shane's business. I'm in my children's business. I'm in everybody's business but my own when I sit still. It is not good for me. Just to let you know, it is good to take a break and rest, but I find myself getting in everybody's business, and then I try to start fixing everybody around me because they're a train wreck. Larry needs to be fixed. Shane needs to be fixed. My kids need to be fixed. Like I go to outer space, and I realize that sitting still is not good for me. It is not. And that's the things that I talk about on my lives, is how I screw up every single day. Every single day I screw up, and I have to brush myself off, pick myself up, and try to be how to be a better daughter, how to be a better mother, and how to be a better wife. Does that mean that I sit here and focus, Shane is a train wreck? Larry is a train wreck. My kids are a train wreck. When I'm in their business is when you see my brain going like this. And I ain't good. I am mentally unstable when I'm in everybody's business. But when I stop and focus on, hey, Judy, are you everybody around you is a train wreck. Are you a train wreck? Oh, yeah, I am a train wreck. So let me just concentrate on what I need to fix. And that's the moment when I'll text my counselor and go, hey, we need an appointment this week. As a matter of fact, we need 3 appointments this week because I can't fix Shane, so I need to fix myself. I need to go fix me, because if I sit here and try to fix Shane, I'm going to be in a 4-room brick wall, killing my brain with blood all over my face from knocking my head against the wall because I can't fix him. I can't fix him. I can only fix the way I react to him. Because a lot of times he is a trigger to me. He don't do it on purpose. Shane loves me. But I get triggered a lot with Shane. I get triggered a lot with Larry. I get triggered a lot with my ex-husband or my children. And I have to stop what I'm doing, realize that I'm being triggered, and the only person I can fix is myself. So that is what we talk about. When I say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, I'm a train wreck. Did I say I was a health nut? No, I am not. I would love to be a health nut, but I have bad habits just like everyone else. And my bad habit is to drink a Coke Zero in the morning. It makes me feel better. Maybe one day I'll change and drink something, I don't know, a Propel or something. But right now I'm a train wreck and I'm drinking Coke Zeros. So I always make sure that I tell everyone, do not follow me for health advice. Okay. As far as like proper nutrition and stuff like that, because I'm a train wreck myself. So To make myself feel better about drinking this Coke Zero, I call it a protein shake because it makes me feel better about being a train wreck. Okay. It's the same as if you have a bad habit of something, I don't know, instead of calling it a beer or a cigarette or a chocolate cake, you call it a protein ball. Like this chocolate cake is not bad for me. It has got protein in it. Okay. It's like I just tricked myself into thinking that I'm making good decisions. I'm a train wreck. Okay. Also, in the mornings, I get ready. I have no idea where this started. I don't know. Diane, maybe you can tell us where this started. I'm not really sure. It was like one day, I think this is a story, but I'm not positive. But Diane, I feel like she was my first follower, her and Tammy. I talk about them all the time. But one day I just went live and started getting ready, and Diane and Tammy and I were here. And we were here for the longest time. And I'm always in a hurry because I am open to the public. So at 10 o'clock, usually 9:30, if I have a field trip, it's like 8:30 in the morning. Parents and kids are pulling in my driveway. So the only time, and I don't have Wi-Fi at my farm. My farm is away from my house, and I've had trouble getting Wi-Fi out there because I don't have power out there. Maybe one day I will, but as of today, I have no power. So in order for me to go live, I found it was easier for me to go live in the mornings getting ready because I don't have time, y'all. I mean, if you came and lived with me for a week, you'd probably be like, she does this every week. Yes, I do. And it's the only time I can go live is when I get ready. And so I just started doing it. I know it makes no sense. I'm a farm girl and I'm getting ready. But you have to remember that I am a farm girl, but I'm open to the public. Schools are coming here, group homes are coming here, tours are coming here. And so, like, that's why. And this, like, I'm a frilly girl. Okay. I'm a city girl. Okay. I'm not. Every now and then, I'll just look like who to thunk it as far as like dressing. But part of my mental health is to feel good. I don't put on makeup for anybody else but myself. And a lot of you go, Judy, you have natural beauty. You don't need makeup. Well, see, this is the deal. It matters what I think, right? At the end of the day, you can tell me that, Judy, you are naturally pretty and you don't need makeup. But see, at the end of the day, it matters what I think. I am a girl. Girls like to feel pretty. We're taught that with the Barbie dolls. Like, we're taught that at a young age. We want a pretty frilly dress and we want to have diamond earrings on. That's why we have jewelry. We want to. It's silly that a diamond ring would make you feel pretty, but for girls, I know it don't make sense to boys. So if you're a boy right now and watching me, it's really silly. I realize it. But diamonds make us feel pretty. Makeup makes us feel. Polish on our nails makes us feel pretty. A spray tan, when we're tan, we feel like we are just glowing. Like, it's just what girls do. We're brought up that way. So I put on makeup. I don't do it every day. I don't. There's days I go without makeup because you see it on my YouTube videos. You're like, guys, she looks like a train wreck. I am just who I am. If there's days I don't feel like doing it, I don't do it. But in the mornings, I try to do it because of my mental health. I feel better when I look presentable. When I look with no makeup on and a gross t-shirt and yucky shorts, I don't feel good inside. I just don't. I don't. And I think most women are like that. If you go on a date, if you're husband, if you're a woman and you go on a date and your husband asks you to go to dinner, what do? You go take a shower, you go put on something pretty, you go get ready, you put on your cute little earrings. You want to feel pretty. And I do too. And it makes no sense to a lot of people that I would want to get ready and then go shovel poop. But I feel better mentally. And I have to learn what is best for me and what is the best version of Judy. The best version of Judy is when she looks her best. That is me. So when I have on little puffy, shirts, I'm just trying to feel better. It makes no sense to farm people and other people why I wear a frilly shirt, but it makes sense to me because I'm a girl. I feel better when my hair is curled and when I have makeup on. I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself because I find myself when I go in public and I don't have myself together, I find myself wanting to hide. Like, I hope nobody notices me. I don't even match today. I have on blue socks with these Crocs. Like, I look a train wreck, and I find myself wanting to hide. And I don't feel good. And then when someone notices me and says, "Oh my gosh, Aunt Judy, I watch you all the time. Can I take a picture with you?" And I have on blue socks with pink Crocs. I don't feel good. I do not feel good. But if I have on a cute shirt and I have my hair fixed and someone says, "Oh my gosh, it's Aunt Judy. Can I take my kid wants to take a picture with you at this field trip today. Can I take a picture?" Usually when preschools come here, I'm a mother. When a preschool comes here and it's the first field trip, where am I going? I'm going in the baby book, right? Like I'm going in the baby book because, oh, I remember, because their whole life, I remember your first field trip. It seems like yesterday. And here you are, a senior in high school. Oh my gosh, let's pull out your baby book. Let's look at your first time you walked, the first time you lost your tooth, your first field trip. And then there's Judy in her blue socks and green Crocs with no makeup on, looking like this. I think about stuff like that. Do you think I want the child for the rest of his life to look at his baby book on his first field trip, and then there's this girl, Aunt Judy, that has on a holy shirt? No. So I do it for myself. So that's why I get ready in the mornings, is because there's a lot of times that my farm is a special day for someone. It may be someone's 50th birthday. It may be someone's first field trip. It may be whatever it is. A lot of times, every time, memories are made on my farm. They are. I watch it every day. And so I want to be a part of that memory. And I want to feel my best. And in order to feel my best, I have to get up and dance. And in order for me to get my dancing shoes on, I have to get ready in the mornings. It's just what I do. Okay, what am I leaving out? Okay, so a lot of times when you're on social media, you get a lot of critiques. And sometimes I let it bother me, and it's not good, because people will begin to critique you that doesn't really know you. Like, they'll be scrolling through Facebook and I'm over here getting ready, and they don't know who I am, and they begin to say bad things about me. And so this one particular time, this lady on YouTube, she said, she said to me, and this was in the middle of the summer. And she said, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself for filming a video with your hair being that greasy." So instead of getting my feelings hurt, I made a joke out of it. And I called my hair Cynthia hair because her name was Cynthia. I don't know if she still follows me. I don't know. I don't know. But I named my hair after her because that particular day, I was a cheese ball. I had been sweating my butt off. And if you see me in my farm, you see my goats, my alpacas chew my hair. Um, you know, Bobby Joe used to do his business all over me. Like I'm laying on the ground with the pigs. I don't care. I don't care that I'm a cheese ball. When you follow me, you get the raw version of Judy. There's days that I do get ready, and then there's days that my hair looks like a grease pit. So oftentimes, me and the backup dancers, when I have a Trainwreck hair day, we go, Lord, I got some Cynthia hair today. Lord, Cynthia would be ripping me a new one if she saw my hair today. So I just make a joke out of it. I've learned to do that because otherwise you'll have your feelings hurt and you'll sit it out. I'll sit it out and cry because someone said I had train wreck hair. So I've learned to turn it into something funny so I can deal with it, because it's, if someone told you that your hair looked like a grease pit and you had no business filming, you would have your feelings hurt too. You'd be like, can you believe somebody would say that? But I've just learned, I've learned through social media to try to take things with a grain of salt and turn it into something funny. When people, there was this lady just last month that was telling me that I wasn't a farmer because if I was a farmer, I would perform a C-section on my cow. I was like, wow, I had no idea. I had no idea. In order to be a farmer, I had to perform a C-section. And I thought in my head, well, how does she, if she's not a veterinarian, how does she do anesthesia? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, but see, I think what she's saying is if you were a real farmer, you just slice your dadgum cow open and pull the baby out with no anesthesia. And she calls that being a real farmer. And so I had to learn, like Diane and I laugh about it all the time. Diane will say, you ain't no farmer, you ain't doing C-sections. So me and Diane make a joke out of it. We do. We do, because when people start ripping me a new one, and Diane goes, pull out the what do you call it? Not the razor. What do you call it? I can't even remember what you call it. Not a razor. A suture. No, suture's a stitching. Anyway, pull out the blade, Judy. Go to slicing that animal open. Like, Judy, you need to go do a C-section to Shishi. You are not a farmer unless you're doing that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting that the qualifications of a farmer is to slice your pig open and do a C-section. I keep forgetting, Diane. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding. So I just try to turn everything that's said to me into a joke. So if you hear that said, Judy, if you were a real farmer, you would do a C-section. That's what they're talking about, is because someone told me that. They told me I wasn't a farmer because I wouldn't perform a C-section. Wow, really? So you get, hang on. Oh, there it is. You get all kinds of funny things that are said to you when you're on set. Oh, shoot, I burnt myself. You get all kinds of funny things. And, you know, I have a children's book that's out, that it came out years ago when my farm first started, and it's on Amazon. And my cousin just finished my second book. And it's going to be, we're going over it Thursday, and it's going to be submitted for approval. My coloring book got denied, so then we had to go back and fix some. They're really crazy to get something published. So I had to go back and change. They wouldn't publish it because my first children's book had Sneed's Farmhouse, and we had to change the coloring book because they wouldn't allow us to have Sneed's Farmhouse because there's already a Sneed's Farmhouse book. So we had to go back and change it. So the coloring book will be coming out soon, but also my children's book. And the children's book is about people say Judy's not a farmer. And y'all, I cannot wait to read this book. I've got to learn how to read it in telling the story. You know, basically what it talks about is another thing, if you don't know about me, is I grew up in the city. I've never wanted a chicken. I've never wanted a farm a day in my life. And my children's book kind of talks about this. And what it says is people all the time beat me up because they say Judy's not a farmer because she puts on makeup. Judy's not a farmer because she doesn't drive a truck. Judy's not a farmer because she doesn't, whatever. They do it to me all the time. Since for the past 5 years, people have said that to me. So I turned it into a book because what happened is they're right. This farm didn't get started by me. And that may not make a sense to a lot of people, but what I mean is I've never wanted a chicken. I've never wanted a farm. I've never wanted to live in the country. This was never a dream of mine. I didn't quit my job to start a petting zoo. I wasn't looking for extra income to make, and I started a farm. None of that happened. And in my children's book, it talks about what happened. Is it says, it says people say Judy is not a farmer because she doesn't drive a truck. Well, what did Judy do? Instead, Judy got on her knees to pray and went out and fed her duck. Because that is exactly what happened. Is I was getting beat up saying that I wasn't a farmer, but I knew in my head that this wasn't started by me. I didn't dreamt of this. Like this was not started by me. And what I have learned is when things are started by someone other than you, meaning a higher power, I call my higher power God. Okay. I don't know. I don't judge about what you believe. I don't. So I'm going to say higher power. My higher power is God. I'm a Christian. And I know in my heart that this was God because I never wanted this. I've never dreamt of this. This has never even crossed my mind. So when people started telling me that I wasn't a farmer, in my head, I would just go pray because I knew in my heart that, okay, I'm not a farmer. I've never been a farmer, but this wasn't started by me, which is what the testimony is. If you follow me, you'll see that I never wanted to do this. I do not depend on Sneed's Farmhouse for income. Sneed's Farmhouse is a hobby. This is something Shane and I enjoy. I enjoy it more than Shane. I am very fortunate that my husband, when Larry got sick and I got married, I moved to South Alabama. And Shane didn't want me to work. He wanted me to stay home. I know that's weird because I had no children. But Shane was like, I want you to stay home. I thought, all right, dude, if you want to pay for everything and me stay home. And then Larry got sick. I'm not a stay-at-home girl. I'm a work girl. I've worked 2 jobs my whole entire life. I've always been the breadwinner in my marriages. I've always, like it's always been me, but it's never bothered me. So when I married Shane, it felt a little different because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a sit-at-home person. I've always juggled 2 jobs. I was teaching aerobics at 6:00 in the morning, 9 months pregnant, going to a job afterwards. Yeah, I've always been busy working and all that. So when Larry got sick, I found myself I didn't know how to be a caregiver, and I didn't know how to stay home. And I had to kind of learn. And so Shane is a country bumpkin. Okay. I'm not. But Shane is straight up would eat frog legs. We would hunt frog legs every day at the creek and eat them for supper and live in a tent. Shane is not living in a mansion. Like, that's never his dream. He would live off the grid and be completely happy. If he got home from work and we hunted rabbit and frog legs, he would be that would be his dream life. Me, not so much. I'm not one to live in a tent. I'm not eating a frog leg. I will never murder a rabbit. That is not my demeanor. So Shane and I are total opposites. So when we moved here and he said, let's get chickens, I don't want a nasty chicken. You know what I mean? Like, that was me. But he wanted fresh farm eggs. And I'm not eating an egg that comes out of a chicken's butt. I am not doing that. That's disgusting. I am not doing that. And he was like, Judy, I don't know where you think farm eggs come from, but they come from a chicken's butt. I said, that is disgusting. I am not doing that. He goes, I know, but you eat eggs. You eat scrambled eggs. I'm like, yes, but I'm not eating an egg that comes out of a farm. And like, that's where it starts. That is how God works. I was so green and did not know anything. Okay. So I took him up on it and got chickens, right? And that's the day God really started changing my life, because I started falling in love. I was like, this is so much fun. But y'all, it took me 2 years to eat an egg that came out of a chicken's butt, because I'm not doing that. That's disgusting. Okay. But it took me 2 years to actually eat my eggs. Now I love them, but it took me a minute. And so my children's book is about how people say I'm not a farmer, but I kept putting on the armor of God. And if you are a Christian, then you know what I'm talking about when I say put the armor of God, because what happens is I have to put the armor on every single day, because when I tell you I'm under attack, I am under attack. So any extra prayers you want to send my way would be greatly appreciated, because what happens is when things are built upon God and you know it, and you say it, like, I could sit here and go, yeah, I did all this. Look at me. I have 67,000 followers. I did it. I did it all by myself. I worked really hard. What I did is I got up in the morning and I worked on my social media. Yes, it was all me. But I know in my heart, it has nothing to do with me. So I began to tell y'all the truth. The truth is, I never wanted any of this. The truth is, when I started social media, I didn't even know. I didn't even know anything about. I'm older. I don't know that you can get paid on social media. That's not why I started my page. When I started going live in the morning, did I think there would be 200 people watching me? No. But see, what happens is when God's in control, amazing things happen. But when he's in control, basically you go under attack when you're speaking the truth. So when I tell you that 67,000 people are following me on Facebook and 22,000 people are following me on YouTube, I'm telling you right now, it has absolutely nothing to do with me, because I am a train wreck and get on the struggle bus every morning, cry most days. And this didn't start on me. But God has a purpose in my life. And me, you need to understand right now, I'm not looking to get rich. Shane and I didn't start Sneed's Farmhouse in hopes to pay our power bill. We do this to give back. So every dime that comes into my farm, we figure out how to reinvest it. Right now, the next step, now that we have the hay barn up, the next step is my education center. And so I've got to buy insulation. I have to buy an air conditioning. I have to redo the lighting and the flooring, and that's going to cost a lot of money. So all the money that comes from social media, tours, and all that goes right back into my farm. Maybe one day I can have a salary, but that's not my goal. I'm fine. My goal is to give back. And you're going to see that through my YouTube videos, that I constantly try to figure out how to give back, just like today. Today, the group home comes every Wednesday. Also, you know how in my first children's book, it says it takes two to make a farm go right. That's the name of my children's book. And I was talking about animals. I was literally talking about animals. And in the past year, Kayla has been introduced to my farm. And Shane is not a social media person. Shane is working 2 jobs and is like trying to provide for us. And in the past year, Kayla has been introduced to my farm and my life changed. My life changed the day she came to my farm. And that's another way for me to give back, because Kayla needed my farm as much as I needed Kayla. And when I tell you that her and I click like, well, I don't know. We click. There's nothing but positive things that come out of me and Kayla. Me and Kayla's brains together are like scary. just saying, because it's like we've gotten to know each other in such a short amount of time that she knows what I'm thinking and I know what she's thinking. Like we could be sitting in the couch and I literally know what she's thinking and she knows what I'm thinking. And it's like God brought her to Sneed's farmhouse and to Larry. And it takes two to make a farm go right. And where Shane doesn't like to be on social media, Kayla didn't either in the beginning. She was hesitant. She didn't want to go live. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember all that. Kayla didn't even like to post on her personal page. You did not see many posts. She was very to herself. And watching her blossom and get self-confidence, because she has a lot of trauma in her life as well, just like all of us do. And watching her gain confidence, watching her with these animals and learn how to interact and teaching these animals, like Georgia, she's into Georgia Lee. Georgia Lee came from trauma too. So Kayla can relate to Georgia Lee in a special way. And teaching Kayla teaching Georgia Lee how to come around and trust, it's almost like Kayla is learning from Georgia Lee too. And like being on the outside, watching what's happening to Kayla is amazing. It's amazing. Oh, I don't have, this is the wrong one. I need a pencil sharpener. Because the same thing that happened to me is happening to Kayla. But like, I didn't realize what was happening to me in the beginning. I don't think Kayla did either. Kayla just knew, just like me, that when she went to the farm, she felt good. It brought her happiness. It brought her self-worth. And the same thing happened to me. When I would go out there with the chickens, I felt happy. I felt like someone needed me. I felt like no one was putting me down. I felt like they would listen without talking back. Like I could go out there with the chickens and go, my life sucks. Will y'all just listen to me? And the chickens would be like, and I could talk without them judging me and talking negative to me or telling me what a loser I was or what or that my hair looked cheesy or that I wasn't a farmer. They loved me being a farmer. They were telling me I was a farmer because I was going out there feeding them every day and I was taking care of them and I was Googling how to, oh gosh, they're doing this. How do I fix it? So they were telling me that I was a farmer where everybody was telling me I wasn't. And the same thing is happening to Kayla is sometimes people make you not feel good about yourself. And when Kayla goes to the farm and Georgia Lee's coming closer and closer to her because she's like, I'm going to gain her trust. And when it happens and Georgia Lee sniffs her hand for the first time, it's like Georgia Lee is telling Kayla, we're going to get through this together. I'm not going to judge you. I don't care about your past. I don't care about what mistakes you make in the future. I just love you being here. And it's wonderful to sit back and watch the same thing happen to Kayla that happened to me. Because I thought it was just me that it happened to. And it's beautiful to sit and watch. And one day I told Kayla that we needed to do a premiere. A premiere is a recorded live. And we need to talk about how our life's changed since we've come to the farm. Lord, I'm just talking and not getting ready. But it's beautiful to watch. And sometimes I feel scared that I can't, like, what if something happens, let's just say to Larry, and what if Kayla goes away? Or what if Kayla has to go, get another job or what, like those things come over and worry. But I think what's happening is God has given me, He's showing me that I never have to worry about that because He's in control. No matter what happens. I tell you all the time, if my farm, when you go through life, you have to learn to be okay. Okay is, if you lost your spouse right now, would you be okay? Do you know how to pay your bills? Do you know what you have? Would you be okay? I ask myself that all the time, and I work on myself every day going, okay, if I lost one of my children, would I be okay? If I lost my spouse, if I lost this farm today and had to sell every single one of my animals, would I trust God so much that I would be okay? That is when you get to healing, is when you trust so much in your higher power that you know that He's in control and you're going to be okay. Instead of losing it. If that happened and I lost my farm, would I cry? Yes, I would be devastated if I lost my farm. If my social media got hacked today and I lost every single one of my followers, would I be okay? Those are hard things to think about. If you lost your child, would you be okay? Or would you absolutely lose it and lay down and die with them? That's when you have to start building a relationship to trust, that knowing that God is in control, because there's so much in this world that we do not understand. And when things are taken away from us, I'll tell you, when my mom got sick, I was mad as a hornet. I hated God. I did. I mean, I was like, why does my mother not only lose her ability to walk? What I'm gonna go try to dig out a picture of my mom so that you can see what she looked like. My mother was bedridden with this side of her face paralyzed, and her body was completely paralyzed for 11 years. So you can see, and she had a feeding tube, a catheter, and all that. So you can see why I was like pissed off at God. Like, why are you doing this to my mother? My mother is the most precious person in the world, and you are allowing her to lay in this bed for 11 years. Why? So you can see where you could find yourself very bitter because you don't have a relationship with your higher power where you can trust that he's in control. That's when you got to learn to break things down and to be the best version of you can be. Because I promise you, if you lost someone close to you, would they want you to sit on the couch and sit it out? Or would they want you to honor their life and go make a difference? You know, you see a lot of parents, let's just say, that lose their kids to addiction. And they go turn around and make good into it. They go and talk to high schools about addiction, or they go become a sponsor themselves and go through the Al-Anon program, or they go and they help other mothers that are fathers that deal with it every day. They go and honor their child by trying to make a difference. That is dancing. That is not sitting it out on the couch crying and being devastated. I mean, it is devastating, I'm sure, when I've never lost a child, so I can't say. But I can see where if I lost my child, I can see me sitting on the couch, sitting it out all the time. And I think that's normal ish in the beginning, because you have to go through grievance, you know, when you lose a loved one. But dancing and being strong and being the best version of you is to go spread the good news. Go help other people. I mean, maybe your child's not here anymore, but you can go help someone else's. You can go help someone else in their struggles. And when you tell your story, you have no idea the impact you make in someone else's life. When I tell you what a train wreck I am and how I've got through life, I have no idea I can't see the number, but who the 200 people that are here, let's just say, I don't know what you've been through. And when I share my testimony and tell you what's going on in my life, I hope to make a difference, because I can't do it alone. I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to be alone. And I will tell you that you backup dancers have made a difference in my life. When you show up here, you help me be stronger and to break things down and to go, okay, what can I do to be a better version of Judy? You just showing up here helps me. It's not like I'm doing it all by myself. No, you being here, Mary, makes me want to be a better person. It helps me want to share my testimony and go, you know what? Okay, today I'm a total train wreck. I'm on the struggle bus and I can't get off. I can't get off the struggle bus, and I'm trying not to go to Mars, but I need your help, and I need you to hold my hand so I can go to the double Dutch bus and dance. That's what I try to tell you. When you're here, you help me do that, because when you're not here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I want to sit it out. I do. All right, guys. This is as best as it's going to get. All right. Yesterday, I was driving down the road, and I I am, y'all know the singer Pink. Girl, listen, boy, I am a Pink fanatic. I love her music. I love her music. And I was listening to, I'm coming out, so you better get this party started. I was listening to that song. I can't sing. And where's it out? And so I was listening, and she came with this. When that song was playing, I heard this thing that she said in that song, and it reminded me of what I want to say to you is you have choices, right? I tell you all the time, you have choices. You can sit it out or dance, and dancing is making a difference in someone else's life and not trying to fix other people, but fix yourself. And Pink said, I'm your operator. You can join me anytime. I'm your connection to the party line. And I thought, that's how I feel. I feel like, I'm your operator. I come here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 7 a.m. I'm your operator, and you can join me anytime. You can join my live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. anytime. I want to let you know that I always hope to be your connection to the party line. So I will see you next time. I hope you dance. Have a great day, and I'll see you Friday.